Welcome back, America. I'm very pleased to have with us a tremendous patriot. Really, just a great guy, Ken Hartman, who is really the man behind our communitysalutes.org. My wife works with Ken, as do other great patriots, but Ken is the leader. He's the general. And Ken Hartman, welcome to the Mark Levin Show. Tell us about our Community Salutes, how it started, your involvement in it, and why it's so important.
Well, thanks, Mark, again for having me on your show. It's such an honor to be with you and your listeners. It all started in 2009 when, in a moment of weakness, I agreed to serve at our local school board. What a nightmare that was, as you can
trust me, I was on a school board, too. You're right.
I know. But what I discovered shortly after joining the board in 2009 was that we were doing nothing to honor the high school seniors and their parents, the high school seniors who were planning to enlist in the military following graduation. I couldn't believe it. And, well, as an old soldier myself, I knew I needed to do something about that. So I planned this nonprofit organization, Our Community Salutes, and we held our first dinner for all the kids and their families in Camden County, New Jersey, and South Jersey. Well, little did I know the word would get out about Our Community Salutes. And by the way, these kids that we honor, back in 2009, many of them were going off to war, but at the same time we weren't honoring them. We had all sorts of affairs for our D1 athletes and their signing days when those high school seniors were going off, and nothing for the kids when they were signing their contracts to defend our nation. So we started with one ceremony. The word got out about OCS, and I started getting phone calls. And we grew from one location in South Jersey to 10 locations, to 20 locations, to 30 locations, to 50 locations, to 60 locations, 70 locations, all over the country. So since 2009, we've honored over 250,000 high school seniors who have made the selfless decision to serve their nation after high school.
And this makes the world a difference to those young men and women and their families, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And, anybody who's ever come to an OCS ceremony, and we don't charge anybody to come to these events. We raise the money through great Americans and corporations that want to help us support this important mission now more than ever. But anybody who's ever been to their ceremonies, and of course you can see the videos on our website, will see the impact that these kids at these ceremonies have. When you bring together veterans from the community, the active duty people like yourself, it's magic. That's all I can describe it. And anybody's ever been to our ceremony, we've done literally hundreds and hundreds of them since 2009, will experience the same thing.
Folks, you can go to ourcommunitysalutes.org and really see what they're doing. Ourcommunitysalutes.org. It's on all my social platforms. I want you to check it out. And you don't take any federal monies, and you're proud of that, right?
We are. We're really proud of that. It's not the federal government's job to thank these kids. It's the communities. It's the Boeings. It's the Lockheeds. It's the corporations out there. And we've been very blessed with some great companies like USAA, Navy Federal, Comcast, who have made these possibles. But we've got hundreds of volunteers across the country that are literally doing garage sales and lawn sales so they can pay for the food and beverage or the venue that we do these ceremonies in. And, people often ask, Mark, how can I support? Well, obviously you can make a donation to support us, but we have a very easy way for all Americans, and that's our virtual thank you card to the class of 2024. It's a real easy way for people to go and sign our virtual thank you card. You can go to ourcommunitysalutes.org or simply ocsusa.org. You'll see the virtual thank you card. You'll write a little message there for these kids and their moms and dads. Our goal is to get 1 million Americans to sign that card by the end of the year. So these young people, and as you know, very fewer and fewer kids are interested in serving. The patriotism is way down. This is your way to thank these kids and their moms and dads for that decision.
Folks, I think this is worthy of a Levin surge. It just to sign this letter with a little note thanking these high school seniors who are going into the military. They deserve our thanks. This is what America is all about. This is what we here on this program are all about. Just go to ourcommunitysalutes.org. You'll find a link there, ourcommunitysalutes.org, and please sign the letter, add a few words. People ask me all the time, they call this program, Ken, what can I do? What can I do? This is really very easy to do. So I want to encourage everybody who's listening to this program, your family members, other people, pass the word. Please sign the letter. Let's get to 1 million people with a little note. And let's show the rest of the country that, in fact, we Americans are patriotic. We do love our country, and we do support these young men and women who are seniors, who are volunteering to put their lives on the line and help in any way they can. There's not enough of that today. Now, Ken Hartman, tell us about you were in the military, your family, and so forth, and what you're doing each and every day with respect to this, and give us a feel for it. Do we lose him, Mr. Producer? I think we lost him, but we'll find him.
Hey, okay. I'm here again.
All right, Ken. So tell America a little about yourself, your family, the involvement day to day in this, and you've got board members, you've got wonderful people who come and speak and MC and so forth and so on.
We do, yeah. We have an amazing board made up of not only retired senior military leaders, officers, NCOs, but true patriots that have come together to serve our mission. I was an old soldier back in a Cold War veteran. My father was a Holocaust survivor, and it was a GI who liberated my family. It's the primary reason why I decided to sign up in 1977 to serve our country. But we have amazing volunteers of all ages and types that help make this possible, Mark. I'm just the leader of the band, but truly board members like your wife have just bent over backwards to help us to raise the money necessary to continue this mission. Our goal is to have a ceremony in every state by 2026, and we're in 22 right now, plus Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. And I believe your listeners can help escape that goal. But the first thing, again, as I said before, it is truly signing the virtual thank you card at ocsusa.org could be a great first step in that.
And folks, any little contribution you can make helps. It really does. And this is a fairly small organization that's doing enormous good in our communities. They're not flashy. They don't get a lot of press. They're not seeking a lot of press. They don't want any government involvement. They don't want any government money. This is what Americans do in their communities, in their homes. They honor their own young people who are joining up for the military to defend this country. This is what we used to do. This is sort of a Norman Rockwell picture organization, if you ask me. Go to ourcommunitysalutes.org, ourcommunitysalutes.org. We're going to take a little break. We're going to come back with Ken Hartman. And then, Ken, I want you to tell us the kinds of people who the audience might know, who've been involved in various ceremonies that you have held all over the country. Not because it's flashy or anything like that, but because they've wanted to help, and they've wanted to help raise support so that we can support these young people. We'll be right back again. Check it out during the break, ourcommunitysalutes.org. Sign that letter. Leave a little message if you can. Leave a little bit of money. They can use it. There's no government involvement, no government funds whatsoever. You know, America, what if I told you you can be part of a big movement that inspires these high school seniors that are joining the military, young men and young women, and their families, with a big thank you by signing a virtual thank you card. A virtual thank you card. All you have to do is go to ourcommunitysalutes.org, ourcommunitysalutes.org. We talk about what can we do. Mark, I'm asked in diners, at supermarkets, on the street, Mark, what can we do? Here's something we can do. This is a community-based organization that has nothing to do with government welfare, taxation, programs. It was the brainchild of Ken Hartman, who's on with me now, and it is spread in various communities, and it is such an important movement. It'll make you feel great. OurCommunitySalutes.org. It's on all my social platforms. It's easy just to click it. And please sign the virtual thank you card and leave a little note to these young people. They need to know that we're behind them. You see what they see on TV every day. You see what they hear every day. But that's not America. That's the media. That's not America. This is America. And Ken Hartman, quietly, is persuading people to do what they just need to be asked to do. And that's what they do. Ken Hartman, ourcommunitysalutes.org, ourcommunitysalutes.org. I just want to remind people, the only way you're funded is through private donations, whether it's businesses or individuals here and there. And the more you get, the more of these you can have in these various communities. And that's what you mean. You want to have one in every state. So seniors in high school who join the military in every state are told, and their families, how much they're appreciated, correct?
That's right. And, there isn't a week that goes by, Mark, that I don't get an email from somebody around the country hearing about our community salutes and asking if there's an event near them, the ceremony near them. And unfortunately, it's a big country, and it breaks my heart every time. We have so many people that are reaching out to us, wanting to start an OCS ceremony. We also, besides just recognizing these young people, we have what we call OCS Connect. It's on our website. It's the first and only resource for the parents of these kids and how we can empower the parents to help these kids with helping their kid with their first paycheck or early college planning or making a transition, because 75% of these kids are only going to serve for 4 years. Very business that says to me, I want to hire a veteran. I tell them, get on board with us. Talk to these kids before they go in, because most of them are coming home and ended up in their parents' basements because that 4 years goes by very, very fast. So it's both recognition and support. And we want to expand, like you said, to other states, and we want to offer more modules to help these kids, but we can't do it without individuals helping us in corporations.
This reminds me, Ken Hartman, when I was a kid, I used to watch these shows of little towns, Main Street America, how people would rally. On July 4th, there'd be parades. There was the American flag. This is the picture in my mind, little diners and groceries and general stores. This is what I think of when I think of your organization. These sorts of things all over the country, inspiring, promoting. Tell us the names of some of the people who have asked you if they could come to these events, speak at these events, or even moderate these events.
Absolutely. The list goes on and on, from medal honor recipients, dozens of them who perform, senior military leaders, celebrities like Pete Hegseth who spoke, governors. We had Governor DeSantis from Florida, both Democrats and Republicans. It's truly bipartisan. They're there. They wake up the understanding that no one talks about the importance of serving anymore. And then these young kids and their families, oftentimes they've never even met another family member whose kid's going to the military. They come to our events and they begin to network. They begin sharing information. They support each other in the community. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reconnect America community one by one back to its nation's military, back to the history and patriotism that founded this country. And somewhere along the way, we've lost that. And as we grow, that's what we're trying to do, empower these communities to understand the importance of that patriotism.
It's ourcommunitysalutes.org. Don't put it off, folks. You know how you get busy, I get busy, you forget stuff. Just jot it down, ourcommunitysalutes.org, or go over there right now, try their link. Please sign the virtual thank you card. We want to get to 1 million. And that would really say something to these young people and their families. Leave a little message. And please, if you can leave a little bit of money so this can occur in every state of the union, that these young people know that we have their backs, that it's not about what goes on in these colleges and universities, the protests against America, the burning of the American flag, the replacing it with another flag, and all the rest of it. This is the future. We need to get behind the future. We need to get behind these families on the way into the military. Anything else, Ken, while I have you?
Mark, I just want to remind folks that they can also volunteer in their community. Again, we're not everywhere, but they can come to our website, and if they want to be one of our ambassadors, to come to our ceremonies to help us. Some cases, the ambassadors bake cookies and cakes for the event. There are so many ways in which, particularly the veterans out there, my call out to my fellow veterans, this is your new service. This is the time for you to recommit yourself to our nation. And we'd love to have you just come to ourcommunitysalutes.org or ocsusa.org, and you can learn all about it. Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Well, let me
say
this, Ken, to those of us who haven't served. We got to do something too. And it seems to me something like this is not only easy to do, it is very spiritual. It's very fulfilling. It makes you feel great. Mm-hmm. So please go to ourcommunitysalutes.org, ourcommunitysalutes.org, do the virtual thank you card, leave them some money, and learn about them. And if you want to help them, you can do that too. I want to thank you, Ken, for everything you're doing for the country, for these young people, for their families. What a brilliant, brilliant idea. Really, volunteers, local communities, that's what we're talking about here, not this federal government iron fist stuff. And you're doing an absolutely unbelievable job, my friend.
Well, I got to give a shout out to the hundreds of volunteers that are making it happen across the country. I just lit the spark, and I had no idea that there was this void. And it's an honor to go around the country and see what everybody's doing to honor our nation's newest and youngest service members.
Well, God bless you and your family. And
thank you.
My wife, Julie, keeps in touch, and she informs me of everything. So you take care of yourself, and I mean that.
He's amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on today. God bless you. Thank you.
All right, my brother. You take care of yourself. This man is absolutely selfless. You don't know everything. I'm just telling you, he's absolutely selfless. It brings tears to my eye. So I really don't try to persuade you in a strong way. I don't know what else to say. Please go to that site, ourcommunitysalutes.org. Please sign the virtual thank you card and leave a little note. That's not so hard to do. And if you can, leave them some money so we can get this in every single state of the union. People attend these things, and it really is heartwarming to see these young people and to see their families. And when they look at you and they smile, and they're excited to know that people support them. Governor DeSantis was in one of these. And from what I'm told, it really had an impact on him, as it does everybody. My buddy Larry O'Connor, one of the hosts on WMAL. Alan West is another. I don't know everybody. Pete Hegseth is involved. It's just very, very exciting. And you see how low-key it is. They pour all their money into the ceremony celebrating the children and their families. That's where it all goes. One more time, ourcommunitysalutes.org. It would really put a smile on my face if we shut down that website, Mr. Producer. That so many people were pouring in there to sign the card and leave a little donation that the website shut down. Let me tell you, we've shut down the congressional phones over the years. It wouldn't upset me if you shut down their link. Please all pour in there. Give from your heart. This is a tremendous cause.